Yo, what up, YouTube? What up, boxing fans? My next prediction. It's all about Adrien Broner versus Paulie the Magic Man Malignaggi. This is a very good fight. I think Adrien Broner will be tested against sort of a slick style, um, fast-handed. They call him the Magic Man, and he's a former, I think, at least a two-time world champion. I remember when he held the title, he defended against was it Kendall Holt in a very rough and tumble fight. No, it was Herman Ngoju and Lovemore Ndu. Very rough fights. Lovemore Ndu two times. He had a tough time with him the second when his dreads were flying all over the place, and they lost to Ricky Hatton in a TKO in his first TKO, and I believe that was really the only time you could say he was knocked out. And even then, it wasn't really I don't believe, it should have been stopped like that. A similar occurrence happened with the Amir Khan fight. That shouldn't have been stopped either, but it was. Overall, he avenged his loss to Juan Diaz, the Baby Bull. So, Paulie Malignaggi has beaten some very good fighters, and most recently, he beat the guy who knocked out Ricky Hatton, Vyacheslav Senchenko. Pretty much outboxed him completely. Left him with a very swollen eye. That basically, it's easy to pound on some guy that's fighting out of one eye. So, Paulie Malignaggi eventually got the stoppage. Steve Smoger stepped in and stopped the fight. So this is a very good test. Adrien Broner moving up 2 weight classes to fight someone that did come up from the lighter weight divisions. Paulie Malignaggi, probably not a natural 147 pounder. He's probably closer to that, to the 140 pound. And I do believe Adrien Broner will actually be the stronger man in there. He's the one that actually shows power punching. 26 victories, 22 knockouts. That's huge compared to Paulie Malignaggi's 32 victories, 7 knockouts. So definitely the outcome you can eliminate just based on that is Paulie Malignaggi by knockout. That's not happening. The only way Malignaggi can win is by decision, and you're going to get huge odds on that. On the other hand, it depends how you think Adrien Broner's going to win. It's either by decision or by KO. And the interesting part, overall, Malignaggi is the kind of guy that he's been in there with a lot of good fighters. Ricky Hatton in his prime, and he was in there with Cotto early, very early in his career. In fact, man, just a little side note here. When I was back in high school, watching Friday Night Fights, checking out the prospects, who's gonna be the next big guy. I saw Paulie Malignaggi out there on Friday Night Fights, and I thought he'd be a future world champion. And my other friend, I only had like one guy that I could actually talk boxing with in high school, and he picked Miguel Cotto, right? And I knew Miguel Cotto was good, but I'm just picking the guy from Friday Night Fights that I think is gonna be world champ. And Paulie Malignaggi got there. In fact, they both fought, and Paulie Malignaggi gave a very game effort against Miguel Cotto. That speaks to his heart. That speaks to his courage. He broke his jaw. Not too many fighters have stayed in the ring with a broken jaw. You could ask Victor Ortiz about that. Well, Paulie Malignaggi has done that before, and I think if he goes in there and he fights the way he fought Senchenko, this goes the distance. However, if he goes in there and he fights the way he fought Paulo Cesar Cano, he gets knocked the fuck out. So it go either way. I think he's gonna win his fair share of rounds. I think he'll give Adrien Broner enough problems to where Adrien Broner will have to adjust, and that's the key question: is Adrien Broner going to adjust to his slick style? Defensive-oriented, fast-jabbing fighter. But Paulie Malignaggi's issue is he doesn't really have a right hand to back up that jab. It did land quite well against Senchenko, and it puffed up that eye. But against a very defensive Adrien Broner, someone who knows how to really slip the shots, roll with it, slip under them, block a lot of what comes at him. He's very good defensively, and it's very accurate as well. So I'm not gonna say, because this fight is very interesting, and it's going to be it's going to be chess. This is one of these boxing matches that it's going to be straight boxing. It's not going to be very exciting. It might be boring at times because these guys are going to be thinking in there about how they're going to set up, their right hand, or how they're going to land the body shot. And I just think when you're playing chess with Adrien Broner at this stage of his career, he's one of the best in boxing. And I think he's a faster man. He's a younger man. He's going to be stronger in the ring, I believe. And it's just about him making the adjustment to deal with Paulie Malignaggi. I think he'll be able to do that. And I think Adrien Broner is going to win a decision. I don't think he's going to knock him out. I give Malignaggi a lot of credit for taking this fight. I think he could take a good punch. And I think he's going to give Adrien Broner some problems. My prediction here is Adrien Broner by decision. If he can neutralize Paulie Malignaggi's jab, which I think he will, he could either out-jab him or land his right hand. And I think Malignaggi's defensive enough not to get hurt. So that's how I see the fight. It is what it is. Peace out. Take care.